ancestros y ancestras, pido por favor de su protección, guía y sanación. May everyone who's watching get the message that they're supposed to get. May all this happiness be transmuted by the violet flame with love and compassion and harmony. Ajo. Pidiendo también al abuelito fuego que nos dé claridad. Gracias. This reading is going to be about what you need to know right now in this moment, and this is a timeless reading. I encourage everyone to just go back to the video. This is going to be about the heaviness that is being felt right now, the maybe excess of noise, and hopefully this can relax you as well if you just needed to hear like affirmations and just motivation. I focus on that because I know I need it. So may this reading be to your well-being. Group number one, the first word I heard is perro, which is dog. Someone of you, like whether it's a dog or any other animal or being, you're coming to connect with this souls that are maybe not necessarily human. This could also be elementals. You're connecting with the guy that is an elemental. Everything that's like your past families. It's the world before we even came to sense that we were like individuals with emotions. We were just spirits navigating, just flowing through energy, not needing to feed on anything. Literally, this civilization I'm talking about is Lemuria. They wouldn't feed on anything. They would just be and co-create and be in harmony with each other, play music. They would dance. Everything was ritual for them, just sharing love. And it's called the Lemuria Oracle deck of Beyond Lemuria, actually. So this is maybe beyond those times. Like you maybe were in a past life that, or either before that past life, or both of these, but before that one you were a plant being, or a lotus flower. Look, this is your first card, luminescence. I feel like you were either that or you were a being that just needed to be in connection with everything, like with it just needed to be and share, and it could not be alone. You're not someone that goes on pilgrimage. I'm hearing you're someone that is actually like based off of group energy, like you recharge alone maybe, but to bring it back to a group energy, you either hang out with a partner or just more people, over two people, and it could just be two people and that's already a group. It could be three, that's for sure a community already. Three different minds coming into harmony, that is a totally different like family energy that is coming together, and harmonizing and flowing, listening to each other. So that feels pretty good for y'all. Self-love, the light that radiates from our hearts, light shining in the darkness, heart center, removing your heart armor, accepting your shadows as the flip side of your strengths. A vulnerable, wide open heart, authentic, heartfelt needs. Authentic, heartfelt needs. That's what I feel a lot for you. Oh my kush, my kush is a spider, and it was the earth element, and I've been literally seeing this. So, for a lot of the global actuality right now is the grounding, like whether it's just protesting against a pipe company out there. I think there's some Aquarius energy. I don't know much about astrology, but I've been feeling it too and listening from my other guides, the other YouTubers, that it's about just going to be a chaos in the global, like, and it's not like it's not being, but just differently. And the grounding is so important. And I felt like connecting, and like if you were scared of something, if feel scared being out there in the wild with no connection, like maybe pilgrimage is something that you will do, but in the sense of like, just being on your own and doing your own thing. Maybe that's just being in your room drawing. You don't have to go to the desert and venture. But the spider card is right here. Being like dark feminine energy, I'm feeling. Oh, I felt goosebumps on my left side of the head, on the back of it. There he goes again. Yeah, third time I feel it. A spider is a dark feminine symbol that I've seen, and I'm just fun fact. I'm kind of like tripped out by them, and now I feel like it's that I have so much respect for them that it's like I allow you to create and like to not be judged, and be able to be like, well, if I sometimes judge myself in my shadows or elemental connection with the earth, like maybe some of you may be able to speak with elementals, like the winged beings when you're out there grounding. Some of you might be able to connect with hummingbird energy, you know, fairy energy, gnome energy. Some of you connect with sound, anything that's an elemental, not like our, bone and skin, human, de carne y hueso, but an elemental that it's energy and it's spirit only. So the card says, self love, the light that radiates from her heart, light shining in the darkness, heart center living, removing your heart armor, accepting your shadows as the flip side of your strengths. A vulnerable, wide open heart, authentic, heartfelt needs. And this is the card. And I also feel that you definitely want to go to a river, beach, or laguna, or water body if you have the access to one around your zone, because it's gonna be crucial. And now that we are in this phase with eclipse energy, and then new moon energy, maybe new projects that are very like emotional, being sexual education, being anything that's water energy, womb guiding, all those spiritual helpers out there. You might be able to come up with something new to add to your practice, to share with the community. Everything that is heartfelt, like emotional. Like, I feel that if you also do art with people and you share your supplies and stuff, well, that's some water fluidity element. Water paint. That was specific. I heard water paint for some of you guys. So spider is the next card, and I feel that is very like the first thing I feel is feminine, masculine, but I also feel sacred, dark feminine energy. It's so sacred, and like maybe I stop painting like it's the devil. Like, that's very sacred energy that allows us to transmute our rage into manifestation and change and transformation and action. It's like what vanishes any doubts and creates its own reality. I feel that for that one, it's gonna be very important. Maybe do shadow work meditation. Look at your mirror at night with the candle, maybe staring at yourself, candle, staring and breathing and watching your shadow in the mirror. If you can in the darkness, if you don't feel safe in the darkness, it's understandable. I'm hearing some of you need the light, and I do too. So, also, I want to say that for the spider being an earth energy, it's like if you were doubting if to go and do some work on yourself, and do it. Don't doubt it anymore. Start it. It's the moment. You don't have to give anyone your energy right now. Just concentrate on your grounding, because it is the earth element. As you guys can see here, it's the triangle it is earth, this triangle. And I was gonna say, let me see. Creator of prosperity through life's work, Dharma. So some of you are launching projects, entrepreneurs, and you know, all of you helpers out there, light workers, herbalists. The spider is an indigenous genius creator. Its greatest gift is waving the thread of Dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it, both financially and spiritually. Wow, this is hard work, but the spider neither tries nor becomes impatient. So patience is gonna be a big key, and I see you like working through and being dark feminine energy, being patient and letting yourself create without guilt or shame. It's very dark feminine energy, and your last was Five of Swords. Let's see what it means. Five of Swords means, oh, you know what? I don't know what it's of Swords, but it's want. And spirit just let me know. Doubt and desire to leave the known old circle of life, to fight against everything familiar, much like a youngster to confront the world of all grown ups in order to outline own view of the world and challenge the old wisdom of fathers. Desire to overturn the world upside down, to shake every single thing up, for even if there is nothing left of the old limits, myself will not mourn their wreckage. So this is what the booklet says. And I also want to say that just it's saying that it's gonna respect its own view of the world and challenge the old wisdom. It's like saying that okay, you're gonna accept your traditions and you're gonna follow and harmonize with everyone as a community, as family, but you know when to put a boundary, and also like for per se, like this is your kind of way of doing it, like scatter around, but creating a thread. If you see, it's like you're weaving the thread. Maybe that's why I saw swords. I'm getting it. Yeah, I'm hearing the hair swords because I saw swords, because I saw like the needles threading and threading. So desire to overturn the world upside down is also like a revolutionary act, and this is your last card, Five of Wands, and let's see the confirmation for some of you. I feel this is gonna be about a lot of action taking. This dark feminine is like, fuck it, I don't feel embarrassed anymore, And some of you are like, you know, um, I'm gonna do this with fear, but I'm gonna do it, you know. I'm gonna practice slowly and be patient with myself and do it. That's the sacred feminine, and it's like very central, and it has to do with womb. A lot of your mothers, fathers, and your sacral chakras are very let's say manifesting right now, and I'm so happy that you're letting your child inner self authentic, as the card said, and you're letting it create, because that's what it's all about, for your own pleasure, and just muting the guilt that you felt for wanting to give it and not feel it. Look at the throat chakra, like being spot on and just not just activated, and like giving all this radiance out through the heart. Very collective way. The unicorn is your next card. and this is a spirit elemental or ether. The ether, for those of you who doesn't know, it's the space that holds the four elements. It's space itself that holds the planets magnetizing with each other in unison. So that is ether element for the unicorn. It's like a spirit, it's like not maybe visual for most of us, but it is there existing and holding another dimension in this bubble. The horn in the unicorn in the third eye reminds me that it's like a vision of the ethers of the cosmic realm, of the dream realm. Some of you are really active at night, and I want to say that also when I feel the number 5, it's for me the throat chakra. So again, throat chakra, like I was mentioning, and the balance forces within masculine and feminine. Look at the third eye again, and the space ether. For me, this is very like hold space by, the unison. So the four pentacles stability may be the sign of wisdom or a sign of impotence and cowardice. The life of the body requires themselves to die all the time. No alive thing can tolerate a standstill. There is a danger of life, feelings of fullness and abundance. For what else to desire if there is everything? 'Tis the cadaveric poison of habit penetrates one, turning him into a living corpse. That is all I have for you right now. I think you can pretty much tell the phrase I just read and describes the throat expressing and the sacral chakra activation. Another message that is repeated in these readings. Yeah, and do your work to see and to respect the ethers and the space that you hold, the perspectives we hold for others, And I think you will be stable pretty soon with your project and your creation. See you later. Hi, pile number 3. This is your reading. Ooh, and I can already feel the very like you guys tripping about something because you all guys rebel against the religious system, because that's what the first thing that came up. Honestly, we have that it's very kind of like castrating, in my opinion, with sexuality and joy, and based off of guilt religions. Like, one example, I'm not telling you that this is wrong, but this is the message that I'm seeing, the Catholic one, or like the everything that is kind of based off of guilt and to owe something to something bigger than yourself, and like guilt through life, feeling pleasure. This is like expression at its largest, and like non-apologetic expression. Your other card. Oh, some of you are very active at night, and that's when you create the most, when you receive ancestor energy and messages, because this is the air element, this triangle right here, and it's of course ancestral messaging. Let's see, your third card is the Popes. Yes, it sounds like the Pope. I know, El Papa. So I feel like it is kind of like has to do with religion, and maybe probably a stationary moment in your life. Some of you are teenagers, and I see you like you need to be able to transmute intensely more than most of us, because you need to transmute all that rage of being molded by the system, forced to go to school. And I know, and we've all been through it, most of us. Pope is a tree that strikes its roots deep into the soil, with this having its branches clamber the clouds, stands for the shelter, and fair for the birds and beasts. Likewise, he who cognizes the merit and good stands for the house, welcoming any of the unwitting survivors. Having perceived the nature of things, did he achieve the confidence and not even the least plea for help could since escape him, for he is devoid of all the hasty fuss, as the time itself is his ally. Guided by the voice of the truth, he is so much as capable of taking the path with his eyes closed. And then furious stream of flow now flows with sweet milk out of his chest. All the craving and starving are coming to a state. The thirst and hunger, and the more vehemently he is spending his own proper self, the more powerful becomes. So with that, I feel like it is totally a confidence thing, and I also feel that if you lack confidence because you have no mentor or older people around you, or maybe people that advise you, it doesn't even have to be older, but with that energy of advising, of mentoring you, teaching you, I feel like you often seek for your spirit guides, and that's perfect because that is just like, you know, doing it in the physical world as well as in the spirit, and your throat is key to this. So I would recommend, like, if it's not singing, speaking, public speaking, poetry, or anything of that sort, or if some of you work in language fields, or if some of you are teaching people languages, I feel that yes, you are like going to do your entrepreneur own project. There's no need to be pushed around. It's abundance, clairvoyant treasures. The keywords that's said right here on the card for this owl card. And I feel like you have to do an offering, and it's okay to give something you trust. For example, people do offerings to the earth, our ancestral lineage and stuff. We're generous in your security. You feel secure and you trust. Like you don't even have to see in the darkness to trust. That's all I have for you. Thank you for visiting. I want to see in the comments what resonates. Bye.